But had he been punctual with the paperwork, he'd have missed cocktails at the Patrick Henry bar. He didn't care much about the marshal's wrath, but lectures were best avoided. He drummed his fingers, glaring hatefully. He said, "Beck?" "Yes, Manuel?" Manny winced. He hated her use of his full name. "Sorry for interrupting you earlier. That was rude. And I am never rude." "Yes, you are." "I'm working on it." On screen, his email opened, and he zipped through the inbox. He needed to update the database. The very thought filled him with pain. Databases were straight from hell, so he permitted himself to sidetrack. At precisely 8 o'clock, Colin Parks strolled in with a mug of coffee, one of the ridiculous plastic mugs from Taiwan, leaking heat. Colin was short and compact with cauliflower ears, like he did well wrestling in high school and decided to keep the body. Brawn over brain. Colin made a grunting noise. "Looking good, Mulder and Scully." Manny didn't reply. He'd fallen deep into an email about luxury shirts from Barney's, and he'd never bothered to find out who Mulder and Scully were. A dashing duo, he assumed. Some days, he fantasized about kicking Colin's ass. 30 minutes later, Manny still lounged in his swivel chair, scrolling through an email about gang unrest due to Whitey Bulger's death and what it meant for government informants, when the marshal walked in. Burt Warren, nicknamed the Bear. Man looked like he could out-wrestle a grizzly, even though Burt was in his 60s. He'd worked his way from an Army MP to FBI special agent to a presidentially appointed marshal for the western half of Virginia. Never married, hard-working, dependable, and well-liked. Warren made a beeline for Manny's desk. He rumbled, "Morning, Miss Beck." "Good morning, Marshal." He shoved a thick finger at Manny. "Just hung up with Sheriff Stackhouse. Says you brought in Milo Wiggins last night." Manny stood and straightened his tie. "He come with a bonus?" Across the room, Colin Parks set his plastic mug down hard enough to spill it. "Milo Wiggins?" "Morning, Deputy Parks." Warren said it without looking at him. "Shit!" Colin grabbed at tissues to mop up the coffee. "Milo Wiggins? You kidding? He's mine." Manny said, "Milo coming through Roanoke. I saw him last night, and I cuffed him. Not a tough hombre." "Milo was on my caseload," said Colin. "You're lazy. Took too long. And you knew he was coming through town." "I knew." "How?" "I knew." "You had Milo for a year, Parks," said Marshal Warren, "and you sat on it." "Sat on it? Sir, he was out of state." Manny shook his head. "You didn't look hard enough. You, the lazy communist. Me, hard-working American." "You act like these guys fall into your lap, Manny, and it ain't that easy. You cheat." Manny raised his hands, palms up. "I'm on the fugitive task force. I ran into Milo. What's a poor Hispanic boy supposed to do?" "Sheriff says Milo looks like hell," said Marshal Warren. "And Milo says you beat him up, that you let him go, then beat him up some more. Sounds like Milo is a lying fugitive, you ask me. He says you shot him. With wax bullets. They don't count." Colin finished mopping his coffee and chucked the sodden paper towels into the trash can, with vigor. All Manny's callers say the same thing. Those who live long enough to talk, they all claim he kicks the piss out of them. Milo Wiggins, he hurts women and children. He put up a fight when I respectfully asked him to get in the car. So I talked sense into him. Behind the monitor, Beck snickered. Marshal Warren's phone buzzed. He pulled it from his pocket and held it away from his face, reading the text. The font was sized large, and he still had to squint. "Milo's attorney will be here in 30 minutes, he said. "Hot shot from Washington. $1,000 an hour. Politically connected. Milo's paperwork isn't perfect. We got a mess on our hands." Manny nodded. "Ah, the paperwork. Should have done that." Warren's eyes hit with the force of a truck. "Tell me his workup is pristine, Deputy Martinez." Manny adjusted his tie again, cleared his throat. "Yes," he thought, "about the paperwork." Noel Beck stood. "Pristine, sir. Deputy Martinez spent hours on it last night."